Today's topic is multimeter. Okay, so when we talk about multimeter, what does come to our mind? Okay, we hear a word meter. Okay, okay, it's a kind of meter. What does a meter do? It measures. It measures. Okay, now we will see a photo. Okay, now here you can see that photo is that this photo. This is a digital multimeter. This is a digital multimeter. Now, why digital? Because it has a display. It has a display on it. Now, this display is digital. Okay. And what if the display is having some kind of indicators? What do we call that meter? That meter would be analog. Okay, so meter that has a digital display is a digital multimeter, and meter that has an indicating display or indicating screen is known as analog multimeter. Now, if we say meter, there is another word in front of it, multi. What does multi means? Multi means many. Why many? It can measure DC voltage, AC voltage, DC current, AC current, resistance, electric power, and electric energy. There are other multimeters in the market which can measure capacitance, which can measure inductance. It has also continuity mode, and also there are other features like temperature sensor. Now we'll see what are the components of multimeter. This is a display. Then here there is a knob. This knob can be rotated in the direction that is indicated in the multimeter's manual. Some multimeters you can continuously rotate, whereas in some multimeter you can only rotate in a certain direction. Please check the multimeter's manual, or you can ask your sir about it. Only then you try to operate the knob. Okay, only then you should operate the knob. You should only rotate the knob in the prescribed direction. You shouldn't try to go in any opposite direction. It may break the knob. Now, when we see a knob, we also see dial, and on the dial there are several parameters that are indicated, like voltage, like ammeter, ohms, buzzer. Okay, these are the parameters that are indicated on the multimeter's dial. Now, based on whichever parameter that you want to measure, you have to select the knob. As an example, if I want to check my AC voltage in the socket, where would I keep the knob? I would keep the knob in this direction. This indicates AC voltage. What if I want to check the voltage of my car's battery? I would keep in this direction. This indicates DC voltage, and we know that car's battery is DC. When we look at the multimeter's further parts, you see there exist certain probes terminal. There are especially three probe terminals. Sometimes some multimeters may have only two terminals, some may have three terminals, but one terminal that is there in all the multimeters is known as COM. Basically, COM is a negative terminal, and mostly black wires or black probes like this. This is a black color, black probe that is attached to the common. Now, based on the parameter, like if I want to measure voltage, if I want to measure voltage, ohms, or if I want to measure DC voltage, I have to connect the red probe to this probe terminal. Now, what if I want to check current of any device? Then the probe has to be disconnected from the voltage probe and has to be connected to this probe terminal. So that means what? The black probe will always remain in its native position of common, whereas the red probe will switch its places. So I will repeat again. A multimeter is a device which can measure many different parameters like DC voltage, AC voltage, DC current, AC current, resistance, electric power, electrical energy, and as I told, some multimeters can measure even temperature. Thank you for listening. Please share, subscribe, and like the channel.